Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourselves in this weird, wild, wacky world of ours. Tonight, we have a multi venue open in Unmask Orlando. Our scene takes us now to the Museum of Natural History, a rather large museum actually just built recently over the past few years. It's got the most exhibits of any other museum currently in Orlando, and it's widespread with about 3 to 4 levels. This is a very large museum and a very nice museum. Stone and tile floors, carved out staircases, uh, exquisite paintings. A few areas have massive glass chandeliers. It is a beautiful museum. As of recently in Orlando, the museum unfortunately was robbed, and several major artifacts and even expensive diamonds and jewelry was stolen from the museum. Henceforth, security has been updated. There are now steel door cages, occasionally sealing off certain areas that close, a lot more security cameras, and a lot more security in general. Tonight, our story takes us there, where there are several characters that need to get things done, and other characters that are simply looking to have a good time. We will now begin from the far left with Mr. Damien as he enters. What is Mr. Damien doing, and how is he dressed?
He is dressed very nicely, like in the photo. Um, he is here again to have fun and meet with new people. His is walking casually inside and looking around.
Now for Mr. Damien, or Jason on the far left, if he is here. He is muted if he's talking. Okay, he has had a stroke. We will go to Miss Two Rivers.
Um, she's right now walking through the exhibits, just trying to unwind before she goes back to the set because I'm sure everyone knows how that is out of character. She's not dressed as nicely as Hightower. She's in like blue jeans, hiking boots, t-shirt, and has like a red flannel jacket tied around her waist with a backpack.
Alrighty, on to Miss Dahlia.
Dahlia is here very much with a purpose today. She was attempting to get this done, before now, but shit happens. So she is here with Matthias with her bag kind of slung over her shoulder and her, because she is in public, she has her walking stick kind of tapping on the ground as she walks.
Matthias would offer to kind of guide you along with his arm if that's something you're okay with.
She would accept that. That is,
Mm-hmm.
very acceptable to her. She's quite fond of Matthias, after all.
Mr. Arjun.
Arjun is well, he's with Ellie, so they can look like father and daughter. And what he's wearing is probably has I'll say a red shirt, a bit like the one on the overlay there that you can't see the color because it's black and white, but I'll say it's red. With a leather jacket, probably thin one because it's hot, but just for the style probably, and a pair of dark jeans and boots, leather boots. And he's just there with Ellie, kind of looking around.
Peter.
Yeah, Ely is a little in front of Arjun, probably dragging him along. She seems quite energetic, quite excited to be here or to see this place. And they've probably seen a bit, but she wants to see all of it. She does seem to just take in everything, and sometimes she has a better look at some of the things. But yeah, when we start this scene, the two of them have probably been I've seen a couple of things by now.
As you're, for those of you who are up and around, currently the exhibits that are open, that are not sealed off with steel cages and that have lights and everything guiding, is the new Tibetan exhibit. Its primary display has a giant, what looks almost like a silver coffin, displayed in the middle, obviously surrounded by some security, and there are occasionally guards at the corners of each doorway or entryway. Most of them don't appear to be, armed as to scare the tourists away, but they are clearly armed. They just don't have any, big shotguns or assault weapons. There are a lot of security cameras that look like they're brand new, and some of them are very hard to spot, even for those of you with an eye for it. And for those of you who look at the areas that are currently restricted or off access, the steel doors. Typically, when you go to a mall and you see the steel shutter doors and whatnot, they look pretty tough, but it looks like if someone had a metal saw, they could go through it. These steel doors look like, you could drive a tank into them and they probably wouldn't bend.
Damon will actually go near one of the guards and ask, I never seen such doors in my life before. I think I have read in the newspaper, but I was not sure which museum is it. Is it this museum where something happened recently?
Yes, sir.
So those are for this reason? That everything
Yes.
is getting...
Yes, sir.
Thank you. He
I
smiles, gives a nice smile. And then he fucks off.
You also notice that a lot of the security guards are rather big and bulky. They are all, pretty much almost every security guard is at least 5'10", and looks like they're made of, just ripped. And
Steroid is
yeah,
casual thing for them, probably.
most of the guards are around similar looking. Typical guys that look like they've been, pulled from bouncer duty or military duty or, police duty. And a lot of them are very tall, very big. They're all wearing the exact same uniform and the exact same getup, with a security hat facing forward, sunglasses, and not necessarily armor, but just the one step up from a police uniform. Not quite a SWAT uniform, but like those kind of fancy security uniforms that a lot of private security organizations have.
Everything being same and everything being this uptight kind of makes Damon uncomfortable because he believes this is quite banal, and he actually tries to stay away from the guards.
Yeah, the guards themselves are all the exhibits are vibrant and unique and different, as are the paintings, as are the very design of this museum, considering as how each and every floor is different and creative and colorful. But the security guards out of everything and the cameras are all one unique palette. They are all matte, so to speak, and it is a little bit uncomfortable. And as you get close to them, and if you spend more time talking with them, you do feel it creep up on you a bit.
He tries to stay away as best as he can. If he can't, he will hide his face that he's been uncomfortable because they may presume some stuff about him. So he does try to keep a good face, but he is putting more attention at the exhibit and the unique things that he is seeing.
Mm-hmm. The guards don't seem to really be paying you much any mind unless you actually interact with them. They just appear to be looking forward and not moving.
Do their uniforms have any specific logos or companies?
I am glad you asked. Roll me a perception alertness. Oh wait, your kinfolk. Is there alertness on your sheet?
Let me check. Yeah. I believe there is. Just
awareness, alertness, perception, whatever you guys can.
Alertness.
That'll work.
So, werewolf dice roller, where are you?
Alertness is all splat. It's awareness that changes from splat to splat.
Gotcha.
Mages and vampires, I believe also werewolves have awareness, whereas changelings have kenning.
What was difficulty?
Diff 6.
1 success.
Okay, you got 1 success. You don't recognize the symbol, but you think you've seen this before, especially if you've ever been in Orlando. There is a X on their arms. It's just a white X over a black square, and it says SECT.
I need to check something real quick. I was seeing if cell phones had cameras in 2000, and they did.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did.
She's going to make sure there's no flash setting if that was back then also on, and she's going to snap a quick picture of it to show her dad and her brother later and see if they know it.
Okay, you snap a picture at him?
Yeah. Making it look kind of like she's texting over anything.
Yep, hold on a moment. I gotta roll something.
Don't make me start lying to people in this scene.
That's only gonna be one. Okay, the guard turns and looks at you. He doesn't move, doesn't say anything, he just looks.
She'll keep acting like she was texting someone. She'll glance up, smile, and go on to move towards Hightower to look at the exhibits near him.
Ma'am,
Sir,
I would like to remind you that no flash photography is allowed.
of course.
Thinks for a moment. Man goes back to his posts in a... typically when you see men stand at attention and go into, like, about face or whatnot, it's, it's fairly smooth for those who are practiced. When this guy goes back into his, like, area, it's almost like he's... The best way I can describe it is imagine if he was on a grid and he was magnetized to the spot. It just looks kind of weird. Like he does his about face so smoothly. It's just like kind of creepy looking.
She's gonna stand beside Hightower looking at the items and mutter, so not normal.
I have to say, they need to teach guards how to be kinder, not just how to guard and kill.
With how Orlando's been lately, we're lucky to have guards.
If you say so.
And I forget, do you two know each other? Your characters?
No.
No, we're just
chatting? Okay.
chatting.
Damon just saw Parents 4 person with sex appeal, so he's like,
as you guys near the Tibetan exhibit, you see that they've kind of gone out of their way to do this. There's a lot of pieces, artwork, old tools, and the sarcophagus is just a marvel to look at. It looks like it's solid silver carved with a lot of hieroglyphs and symbols. It has a bunch of locks that go on the front. There's about a good 6 locks that run down the center of it that keep it shut. So it's not a typical sarcophagus that opens with a lid. This one opens outward with the doors still attached. And when you go into the Tibetan room, you see Arjun's and Ellie's character, and then you also see Damien and Dahlia enter as well. So everyone is in the Tibetan exhibit area, and it's a big area, so no one's crowded, but it's just like they've the best way I can describe it is like the floors are newly polished and they're all jade. It's just a freaking beautiful area.
Damon would also realize that the person with Dahlia is a changeling.
Yeah. Mr. Damon. And I'll say Damon and Damien. So Mr. Damon, yeah, the one standing with the woman in Dahlia's photo is most certainly a changeling.
he gives a look and a nod, but nothing more.
Matthias Dahlia, you feel Matthias stop in his tracks, and then he looks over at Daemon, and he gives.
This causes her to kind of stop with a, rather quickly.
He looks over at Daemon, and he gives you a nod, and he kind of does this thing with his hand where he gives a thumbs up and or thumbs down, like he does that kind of like, how are we here, kind of a gesture.
He gives a thumbs down, and his eyes actually goes towards the guards.
Matthias kind of nods, and then he gives that gotcha symbol, and then he says,
Come on, Dad, come on. We need to, come on.
Yes, Emily.
Don't you think it's
I'm
a
coming.
to have a child out? What kind of father are you?
You'll notice that the child in question just looks at you.
Emily, be nice.
That's none of your business.
That's not a way to speak with a lady.
Emily, be nice.
It's not any of your business either.
He'll sigh.
Damon actually just literally laughs, and he nods and gives a thumbs up to the kid.
This
attitude
woman
will help
finally
you a lot.
catches up with them.
He'll smile. Hey.
Well, she's definitely got some sass about her.
Oh, that she has.
Do any of you know how annoying it is when someone talks to you like you're not
Okay,
present?
Ely dear.
No, it's okay.
I
Fine.
know, it's upsetting. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's,
Looking at them
she
all.
po- she just points at Amelia.
I know. She kisses her forehead.
Yeah. Audrey also kneels down to her level. It's okay.
Ely
Damon
will
looks at Go on.
she just quickly pulls out her tongue
She'll
at
smile.
Amelia a little and then just turns around.
Damon nods at the Katya and the Arjun. He doesn't know them, but he gives a very friendly smile.
I must say, there's quite a crowd here at the museum tonight.
You know what? Katya is going to Auspex everybody.
Oh joy. This is pure breed. I don't know if that would show up with aspects.
Okay.
It does not.
Yep,
Pure
That's
breed
weird.
show up.
How do kinfolk show up with aspects?
They show up as
kinfolk.
normal
Yeah.
humans.
No more. Okay.
Yeah, they have, let's see, Changeling's the one with rainbows.
Yes.
Changelings have rainbows.
And,
Do we
of
sense
course,
magic is being used?
yeah, there's actually going to be a lot of stuff here, because Dahlia's going to see everything. Matthias is going to be aware of what's going on. So I guess what we'll do here is just have everyone just be like, okay, senses up, looking at everyone.
Yeah, I gotta roll Dahlias too.
Yep.
Sadly, as a kinfolk, unless I see physical exhibits, I'm not going to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to be wandering around the Tibetan exhibit, admiring the art, and muttering, "Only 5 more hours till my first shift."
She is using her custom focus, so it lowers from 4 to 3 because sights are always coincidental.
Yep.
Oh, never mind. Just gonna take some time and do it again.
Actually, Ely's just gonna look around at people. When she spots Katya just standing quiet and just looking.
There we go.
Yeah, Ely has 5 successes, so she sees shit.
Oh, nice. Alrighty, and none of my characters are being stealthy at the moment. So I think to simplify it here, we're just going to say that everyone who's got a sight power up is going to probably notice some things that are off about each person in the room.
Damon does not have any side power, therefore he is
Okay.
actually just looking at the art and enjoying it.
All right. Mr. Damien, the other Damien, will definitely have the site up.
Yep,
Yep, okay.
definitely. Heck, he even has at least one road to check out if there are any kindred around.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3.
Yeah.
Arjun, Ely, and Katya.
I would say at this point, everyone can see a guy in his early 30s, blonde with a reddish beard, coming up, wearing classic blue denims, mostly on him, and a Rush t-shirt, and an old battered leather satchel on his side, holding a notebook in his hand, and obviously it looks as if he's been either taking notes or maybe even making sketches.
Amelia will nod in greeting to him because she's paranoid, but she knows no different than he's normal.
He gives her a nod back.
So at this point, pretty much everyone with exception of Amelia and Damon, not Damien, Damon, knows that there are other things in the room besides their own.
Damon doesn't give a shit, actually, so, except, the art and the things that he considers art.
There's some there is very good art.
There are some very pretty people in this room.
Yeah,
He doesn't give a shit about Katya, by the way, and other people who has more than a parent's for, but he doesn't make a move or something like that.
Katya, Dahlia, and Amelia are all really up, as is Arjun.
Yeah, Arjun is also app 4.
With the same specialty as Amelia. Sex.
He is also a bisexual, so Arjun also takes his attention. But he doesn't make a move. He is just watching and playing it very nicely.
Matthias kind of grips Dahlia's arms just a little bit tighter. He says, "It's we've a lot of interesting people out tonight."
She just nods. Indeed. An interesting bunch indeed.
The child just comes near Dahlia and Matthias. She doesn't come right over to them.
Sparkles in her aura.
Yeah, she just walks around, looks at stuff, but she doesn't come closer. She just looks at the two of them. Just stands there, looks at them.
And his is full of rainbows.
Mm-hmm. She's just standing there looking at you in turn. Just looks.
Can we help you?
I don't think so. It's the first time. It's kind of the first time I've been to a museum, but I didn't. Are people normally just these fancy dresses and all that? That she just points up at Dahlia. Normally that could I know Mom just looks good generally, but do all people who go to museums look this good?
Amelia
smiles.
Broke out laughing.
I mean, it's weird. I thought it was kind of like everyone just people just went to museums, but I don't know.
She is rather dressed down. She's wearing a long sleeve sweater and a long skirt.
Ellie.
It would also strike you as odd that she's wearing a sweater because even in the middle of the night, it's getting up around 70 to 80 degrees outside.
And the museum does have a nice AC going, but
This place is getting cold, it seems. It's very nice AC. Damon says to himself.
Matthias looks over at Damon. He's like, "It's okay. Cold's kind of my thing."
You seem familiar, good sir. He smiles when he says, "You seem familiar."
He smiles and he says, "Oh, hold on a sec, because I'm still reading up on Changeling. He gives you a slight nod, and he says, he words it in kind of a code, but he says, "Oh, once a night, always a night,
Nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Damon Hightower. He extends a hand.
Matthias Leon. And my
I've
love,
heard about
and the woman that I am escorting here tonight is, and he kind of gives Dolly a little tap.
She extends a hand. Her fingernails are absolutely perfectly manicured.
Does she present her hand to be kissed or to be shaked?
To shake. She's a mage. She doesn't do the whole, hand kissing thing.
I'm just asking, but yeah, he shakes it, smiles, and he
Dahlia
repeats his name.
Lowry.
Damon Hightower. It's a pleasure to meet with you.
Pleasure to meet you too, sire.
Thanks. This place feels a bit unnormal. The guards are they all look same with each other.
Yeah,
They all act boring.
Yeah, they're a bit off, so to speak.
They're like dolls. Amelia whispers from her spot in the room.
Damon gives a smile to Amelia. Indeed they are.
She'll nod back. My dad always warned me about men who stay out too late and act like dolls.
Wise man.
Keep walking around the room looking at stuff.
Your father sounds like he has experience.
He does seem like that.
And what's that supposed to mean? For giving Matthias a stern look.
He looks at her and he says, he kind of cracks his neck from side to side, and he's like, "Here we go." He says,
I recognize your voice. You are Miss Two Rivers, yes? Your father owns the casino?
Yeah.
"Ah, nice man."
Damon
Indeed.
is like thinking, oh, rich.
Indeed.
He's thinking,
She says to Dahlia.
No, of course not. Your father's a wonderful man. Quite good at his job.
Client, then?
Oh, I don't gamble. No.
Oh, we did more than that. I'm sure father... Oh, wait. Did y'all guys, rent part of the area out for, a wedding or something? Motioning between Dahlia and Matthias.
Oh, heavens, no. we just met a few weeks ago.
I've occasionally been out to the casino to talk with some friends, and I actually have a friend out there who is a dealer. And your father is a good boss, from what I hear.
I do enjoy betting time to time, or playing poker. Where is this casino?
It's just outside the city limits.
It's the Black Coyote Casino.
Not a big...
Please go right ahead.
Go
Oh,
ahead, Jess.
all she said is it's got a big sign when they were talking about the name and where it was.
Then it will be easier for me to find. I will give a visit.
I'm sure you and father will get along well over a game of cards. I'm not often there. You can find my brother maybe there sometimes. I'm not sure anymore.
Well, if I am important enough to meet with the boss, why not?
You don't look very important to me. Little
Hey.
Sick.
not important.
Ooh. Matthias just like gets this face like ooh.
I mean, none of you look like anything to me, so
He cocks his head like
Hearing from Ely.
Yeah. Arden is smiling.
his head like goes like like it was like straight but like very towards like side right. He smiles and he says, I am sure it looks that way.
Oh, I'm sure. You also seem like the kind of guy to drive a Porsche and blow money way too much on lining and gold watches.
You
Matthias-
do judge people not from their how they look. A good ability. Do you also see the future?
No, I don't think anyone can actually see the future.
Matthias is like
surprised.
You would be surprised. The lady is right. But well,
Sounds like
he
sounds like you
smiles.
guys know so much. We can see the future. Is that the case?
it's at this point
She pulled the tarot deck out. The cards never lie.
She raises an eyebrow. Is that white man's fortune telling thing?
Matthias. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Osma, I'd be interested in a reading, though I'm not sure here and now is the place and time.
Later.
Wait a minute. Two Rivers. Wait a minute. Amelia, do you know a Scott?
Yeah, he's my brother.
Yeah, there's two Scotts I know of. I know you know Scott is your brother, but there's another Scott. He's been here for about a year. Do you know him? Wears the sunglasses?
Yeah, I bought him vanilla ice cream because he's basic.
Once Matthias just kind of sits there and he looks over at Damon, and he's like, "Oh, this one's got some sass."
She does
Yeah.
have sass.
Arden looks at Kercher, and looks at Amelia, and looks at Kercher and goes, I like this one.
Although remembering the group, she said, although, I mean, he kind of is one of my bosses, so I really shouldn't call him basic.
I mean,
No, we're all among friends. We're not going to tell them.
Kind of, kisses Arjun's jaw.
Amelia, looks at Hightower and she goes, I just met you today and you think we're friends?
Of course I am.
Ely just goes over to Katja and just kind of tugs at her jacket a bit.
She'll kneel down to Ely's level. Yes, dear.
And she just points with a thumb behind her back. Why is that woman being such a bitch? That's what she says.
roll initiative.
Alden-
No.
Arden chuckles.
Oh, Ely, dear. We really need to work on getting you a filter.
Did we heard that, by the way, OOC?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Perception.
I mean,
I will.
loud or how quiet did you say it?
Let's just be fair and say that Ely's not necessarily saying it in a whispering tone,
She's not a quiet person.
and she does
She
not.
has no filter and doesn't give a fuck.
It's not that Ellie has no chill. Her chill are negative level.
Damon looks at Matthias, doesn't say anything, but like he is like, it's about to go down.
Yeah, Matthias is just slowly kind of he kind of steps in front of Dahlia just a little bit, and he's just kind of sitting there looking at Damon, and he's just like, oh yeah.
I mean, Amelia's not even going to try and pick up on this because personally, she doesn't care about the opinion of a little girl who's out way too late in a dangerous city. And also, I'm sorry, my internet dropped and came back.
Oh,
No
you're
worries.
All good.
Matthias kind of looks over at Amelia and he's like, "Yeah, Scott told me you threatened him with a tire iron. The heck's up with that?"
Gee, I couldn't exactly pull business rank on him, and he was getting between family and me, and my family just got home after an accident. I was worried.
Yeah, that sounds like Scott. He worries about his kin, you know.
And a good way to put it is he was 2 steps from having his heart ripped out by the other person.
Ouch.
Yeah. Sebastian was literally about to fuck his ass up.
And Uncle Sebi has a shorter fuse. I get pissed off easy, but you don't want my Uncle Seb pissed off. I think he could burn all of Orlando if it was really worth it to him.
No, we don't want that, of course.
Oh no, I work here. Whatever would happen to my patients if something happened to Orlando?
I don't know. Maybe they would get healthy.
Ooh.
See, you talk that shit. I will make sure you don't get the proper medication or stitches you need.
I don't need any stitches at the moment. I think you are the one who needs stitches. But personally, I am the one who is talking
Mm-hmm.
crap.
Ellie,
Yeah.
the okay. Ellie, the moment
Sure.
the moment you say that to Katya, one of the guards over by the nearby doorway looks at you and does not break his gaze.
She looks back at him. And I'm going to do a thing.
Okay,
Are you going to use Dread Gaze?
here we go.
Nope.
Aw.
Auspex 4.
Oof.
Okay,
Mind reading.
Okay, I gotta roll something for this.
Well, while y'all do that, Amelia is going to move over towards Jason's mage, Damien, and stand beside him looking at exhibit stuff.
These guys have reduced difficulty 1. Okay, they got 4 dice. Just tell me how many hits you get, Peter.
Yeah, what role is it? Auspex 4, I can't remember.
Perception, empathy.
I just want to make sure. One moment.
If you're using aura sight, anyway.
No,
It's not
she's
Aura Sight.
using 4.
Oh, she's using 4.
Telepathy.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Give me a
Intelligence
second.
subterfuge. Difficulty is the subject's current willpower.
Oh dear.
And for every roll I get, then I can ask a question.
Ooh, that's
With 1, I can simply just, to read minds. 1 success must be rolled for each item or packet of information plucked, or every layer of thought pierced. Deep secrets are buried, are harder to obtain than surface emotions or unspoken comments, requiring 5 or more successes to access. So it's, yeah, depending on how many successes I get, I suppose. Well, I know that that will. I know normally sometimes it's you get to
their
ask
okay.
questions.
Their willpower is 6.
Intelligence.
And they can block this. So let's see what happens. They'll try anyway. Just need to let me know how many hits you get.
I get 2.
They get 3. Okay, you're still going to actually get to ask some questions here. Right, so you're using telepathy and you're reading the mind. Okay, when you look at them, everything appears absolutely normal. But go ahead and ask 1 question.
The question is going to be, are you here of your own free will and volition?
There's a 2-second pause, and then you just hear a yes.
Okay. That might be something she recognizes. Fair enough.
And if you look at them with aura sight or anything else, they like everything just seems absolutely normal. Humans.
Too normal.
Whatever would make you think that, Amelia?
But yes, well,
After you answer the question, the guard just kind of keeps looking at you for a little bit, Ellie, and then just looks back, standing straight forward, looking straight ahead.
Dahlia's going to start looking around using her sights, trying to figure out why she was,
You start.
hold the company.
You start to look around, and you look at the coffin.
Yeah,
There-
probably.
There's a decent amount of primal energy infused into the coffin's matter. There's also a little bit of entropy. And there was traint faces of life that was on the coffin, but not anymore. And Dahlia, for you and only you, no one else notices this. The entire museum goes dark. Like all of the lights just dim and go out.
I mean, it's already
I know.
pitch black for her because
What I mean is your sight dims. Since you've got such a high matter sight, you basically see everything anyway. But the matter, the light and everything starts to dim, and the matter, you can see the forces and whatnot just...
she does not have
Oh,
forces.
you don't have forces. So the only thing you see then is when you're looking at the primal patterns of everything, the primal patterns dim. And then your sight slowly starts to close in, kind of like, tunnel vision. And you hear a voice. Hello, Dahlia.
She's gonna look around and see if anyone else seems to notice what's going on.
You don't see anyone near you.
Wait, is Matthias also gone?
Yeah, you're standing in a black void.
Oh, great.
There's a little circle of rocks in front of you that you can see that has a little bit of light gleaming in them. And you think you can see a figure sitting there, and your sight is there. Not just your mage sight, like you can see. You blink, and you can actually see through your eyes.
This causes her to, kind of be taken a bit aback.
Slowly but surely, the light starts to brighten a bit from the rocks, and you can see the man's face. It's your father.
She doesn't know who her father is.
Yeah, out of character, it's your father. The man sits in a kind of a plain outfit. He's got what appears to just be a simple black shirt, some blue jeans. You can't really... It looks like he's got some black boots on, and he's sitting cross-legged. Fairly average-looking gentleman, actually. Dahlia. It's been a while since I've last seen you.
That would require me knowing who you are.
He thinks for a moment. He says, yes, but maybe you finding out will be more the right path for you. Yes, maybe it will be the most educational for you. After all, I think that's what Merlin would want.
So you know about Merlin. What else do you know about? Who are you?
You don't. You wouldn't. Right. I am. I was. I was close to you at one time. We are bound by blood, you and I.
What do you mean?
You are blood of my blood, flesh of my flesh.
Explain yourself, because I've never seen you before.
Mm. He thinks for a moment and he says, "Who do you think I am? If I am blood of your blood and flesh of your flesh. Do you not remember?"
I remember being given up for adoption when I was a kid.
Something I never wanted to see.
I don't remember much before that, so no.
I would say, sorry, but that wouldn't cut it. You've grown to be quite the strong woman.
I'm gonna ask you again, who are you? And how are you doing this? She kind of motions around it, the fact that she is clearly no longer in, the material plane.
The connection between a mage and their avatar is great, but it can be seen. I am merely talking to you so the others do not become depraved and disturbed. I hope I am not massively intruding. If I am, I apologize. But I needed to speak with you, and here, in this place, in this room, I have enough power to do so.
So that's why you had me come here.
Yes. Be careful of the guards here. And your your friend there has quite the past. He has fought for redemption for many years.
You still haven't answered my question.
Is it not my job to look at people you are interested in and approve or disapprove? Isn't that a role I am to take?
No.
Smiles a bit. Would you prefer your mother had done that?
My mother lost that right when she gave me up for adoption.
It wasn't something either of us wanted to do, dear.
Send me back.
He bows. Until next time, Dahlia. I just want you to know that I'm proud.
That's supposed to mean something.
Can mean whatever you want it to mean, child. My dearest. And you are thrown back out of the darkness, and for anyone who is watching her, literally 0.5 seconds have gone by. And Dahlia, you are back. Normal vision, matter, prime, life.
Should we give Jason a moment so he can intro his character, or
Jason introed. He's there. He just hasn't been doing anything.
Right,
I've actually been
try.
waiting for a chance and tried a few times to get in and describe what
That's-
Damien was actually doing.
Go for it, Jason.
exactly? That's what I meant.
Go for it. I couldn't
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay. Is this better?
Yes.
Good. Anyway, so while the conversation and the tenseness and everything was going on, Damien just first had a look. So, okay, nobody's attacking. The guards are around. So he just turned and went to the silver sarcophagus and started sketching it. Maybe even started writing down some of the hieroglyphs. If he then tries to give a side eye to the guards, just like a quick look, are they watching him intently? What is he seeing?
The guards are looking straight ahead, not paying attention to anyone unless they are directed directly. And when you start to sketch the coffin, some of these symbols start to look familiar to you. Specifically, some of them are the symbols of the spheres.
Oh, so they've got similar forms like what Damien has seen with certain runes and certain
Yes.
hermetic symbols and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case, he would put one of his hands in his pocket where he has his. Oh, wait a sec. He hasn't got any spirit anymore. In that case, I would say he concentrates and tries to activate his entropy sight and see if he can combine that with his mind and cross-reference memories he has from his days studying archaeology. Basically, he's trying to do a combination road without knowing.
Yep, you're using your foci, so that's mind 1, entropy 1. Yep. That'll be diff 3 with your foci.
Okay, I'll quickly roll that. My arete, right?
Yes.
Two successes.
All right. You use the analyzation, the rote of the analytic mind, and you start to analyze and go through things you have seen, and you notice that this coffin not only has Tibetan signatures, but it has symbols for Hermetic, runes, and even hieroglyphs from Egypt.
Very interesting. And of course, Damien would know that this is highly unusual because it's very seldom that you have two, symbols from cultures side by side, but having so many.
Yep.
This is important. And he just continues sketching and keeps an eye out if trouble should be brewing, but he's keeping in the background.
Yeah, when you look at it with a little bit of entropy, you can see a little bit of strands connecting the locks, and that's about it.
To be fair, that makes sense. So I'd say he just continues sketching and until he's done or something happens.
Okay, you keep sketching, and Damien, you, Jason, would you roll me a perception awareness?
Okay. Perception awareness. Got it. Difficulty 6?
Yes. One hit.
1 success.
You hear a little ting, but you're not sure where it came from. Like metal on metal. Little tink. Tink.
I would say Damien stops sketching and very calmly puts the notebook back in his leather satchel to slowly turn around roughly 180 degrees to see what's happening behind him.
Okay, you look around and you see the people standing. Next person who wishes to act may act.
Seeing him have turned around, Millie will ask, "What's wrong? Done with the exhibit?"
It just sounded as if, I don't know, maybe a coin had fallen down or something like that.
It's at this point, I'm not going to have anyone roll because it's loud enough to hear. Damien, from behind you and everyone else who is there watching, you hear a loud toing, like metal on metal again, except this time it kind of echoes through the room.
He kind of turns.
Arjun turns.
Millie will look towards it, but she is not turning her full body. She's keeping her back to a wall.
You all look towards the silver sarcophagus, and the very top latch, which what looks like a little set of, like, teeth or whatever, just kind of clamped, like a clamp. The clamp opens. Just the top one.
Arjun will stand in front of Ellie and Katja. Between the sarcophagus and
That's
Katja.
not good, Amelia says.
Every single guard in the room, which there's about 6, in simultaneous, literally at the exact same time as each other, immediately turn toward the sarcophagus, and they all draw their pistols and point at the sarcophagus.
If they're pointing any way towards like Damon will actually go back because it doesn't want to get fucking shot by any guns.
Yeah, the only one who's kind of in the line of fire is Damien, who was right in front of the coffin. But they'll if Damien moves, they won't track him. They won't strafe him.
Damien will just put his hands up and say, "You know what? I think I'll just mosey over here." And he just tries to get out of the shooting range.
Yeah, they don't seem to pay you any mind.
Amelia's gonna grab Damien and pull him towards the side wall with her.
Yeah, he will not resist.
Yeah, Matthias will kind of step in front of Dahlia, kind of from where the danger zone is. And everyone in the room witnesses the guards just standing there with their pistols drawn in a shooting stance.
As Arjun moves in front of Katja and Ely will kind of scoff him and just either stand next to him or in front of him.
He'll accept next. He won't accept in front. Because he's got all that fortitude. He's like...
Maybe more bravery than sass your daughter's got.
She's got both.
After a while, one of the guards puts his pistol away, walks up to the coffin and closes the clamp, and then walks back to his spot, and then once again, simultaneously, all of the guards put their pistols away and go back to parade rest.
What the hell?
We're just all pieces on a board game, as Amelia mutters.
I hate being a pawn.
I will actually go near the sarcophagus
Go ahead.
and then try to look at it, and maybe I will remember with my remembrance from my past lives.
Interesting. Make me the roll.
Thank you. Changeling, dice roller. I have. What's the difficulty?
Let's do diff 7.
I have 2 successes. And the changeling dice roller.
So, yeah, for a moment there, you kind of feel a little thing kind of touch you a bit, and you start to feel your mind float. And then you see a small vision. And it's a very odd vision. You see an oriental-looking man sitting at a desk smoking what appears to be like an opium stick or whatever. And he looks up at you and he says, "Do watch out for the dragon of the north." Smiles, and you're back in the museum.
He actually whispers back and says, "I will as a silver dragon."
You hear a little tiny ting.
He will slowly go back towards the exhibition and continue.
All right. You guys may continue to do a little bit of role play. I have to feed the dogs really quick, so I'll be back, but don't let me stop you.
Amelia's gonna ask Damien what he did to make the clamp open.
He will just whisper to her that I was sketching it. I was having a good look at the runes, the Tibetan symbols, and the Egyptian hieroglyphs. Then let's just say I took a closer look with what I'm good at, but I didn't feel any connection happening. I'd just stopped, continued sketching, and then suddenly went ping, ping, ping.
She burrows her eyebrows and goes, "What you're good at? Are you like a scientist or something?"
I'm an archaeologist by trade.
"Oh, I'm a nurse. Nice to meet you."
Pleasure to meet you, and he offers a hand.
She'll shake his hand. So far, it's nice to see one of us common folk compared to others around. She'll look at Hightower and Katya as she says that, because they look upper class.
I see. Funnily enough, if you know... yes, of course. Understood. Yes.
No, though, if that's really made of silver like it looks like, that's silver.
The material worth alone is quite substantial, let alone the artistic, the historical, and so on and so forth. But it is very weird that we have got runes, hieroglyphs, and also a few other types of symbols all on the same sarcophagus. That is very unusual. I haven't come across anything like that in my career so far.
At least it busts the myth of why they're calling it a Tibetan sarcophagus, since I believe Tibetans perform sky burials.
Excarnation, yes.
Yeah, so I guess that makes more sense if there's multiple symbols, squiggles on it.
Let's just say that some of those I recognized and they imbued, if you catch my drift.
She tilts her head at him again. Sir, I have to ask bluntly, are you smoking that good stuff?
Not currently, but a few of my mates occasionally give me some. But I can assure you that I'm totally sober.
Oh, you poor man. You have a career, you're handsome. You don't need to be smoking that cocaine.
I beg your pardon. Mages of quality don't smoke cocaine.
Oh!
Oh, you just. God.
I'm gonna.
Oh, Freya, help me.
On her face right now. And she goes, and that is how you get answers. She says, stretching.
Mm-hmm.
Damon immediately asks, "What is a mage?"
Oh, Freya, help me.
Yeah, Arjun kind of looks, and like then looks to well, behind him now to Katja.
And Ely looks at both of them, kind of sketchy, and just looks over at him, looks over at her too.
So,
It's-
my answer about you is done. Thank you for your time, Mr. Damien. Which means, based on your reaction, looking at Dahlia, at least I'm not left in the dark anymore. This is lovely. Welcome back, ST. You missed Jason's mage admitting he was a mage to someone who is not a mage.
Yeah, Damien just goofed.
Okay,
Damon is asking around, "What is a mage?" But nobody responded to him.
That's not Amelia's job to explain the little bit.
Yeah.
hold on a sec. There's six. Damn it! There's six of them in the room. Hold on.
Gods are gonna act. So, is this initiative time?
Hold on a sec. I gotta see what happens here. Well, actually, hold on. Okay. One, two, all right. Okay, Jason.
Yes.
You're a lucky son of a bitch. None of the guards are going to act. However, when you start talking about that stuff, they all look at you. Every single guard is looking at you now.
Perhaps we shouldn't talk about our religion of Wicca here, and we should just go outside and get ready to go home, Mr. Damien.
Roll a bluff.
I will. I'm loading up my dice. Give me just 1 minute. Let's see. Bluff is, I believe, charisma. And what all would it be? Charisma and what?
Subterfuge?
Oh, this will be a meh.
Wouldn't it be manipulation subterfuge?
Yeah, manipulation and subterfuge.
Because she is directly trying to do it. So yeah, that'd be manipulation. And
Oh, I
subterfuge.
lose 1 dice on that roll. Then that's okay. Can I spend a willpower on this?
Before you roll, yeah.
I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay, and then just let me know how many hits you get.
Oh, I got counting willpower 3 hits.
Um, wow. Uh, okay. The guards, most of the guards stop looking, but one guard continues to focus his eyes on Jason's character, and then eventually, slowly, turns back and looks forward.
She'll do like a let's go head motion to most of the group that are closest to Jason's mage. And Matthias, since he's Dahlia's eyes right now.
Oh yeah, he'll go.
I mean, technically, not really. She can essentially see, but
By the way, Dahlia, I've noticed you've made no perceptions on the guards yet. Have you been looking at them with your sight?
yes, she has been.
Okay, go ahead and roll me your Arete roll at diff 3. And then they will roll their counter magic.
Three hits.
Okay. What's Dahlia's knowledge? I think you know what these are by now. But what would Dahlia have?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, in character, you just now realize what these things are.
She is going to grab Matthias's arm and, start pulling him towards the door.
Yeah, as soon as Amelia sees that, she'll lock elbows with Damien on one arm, Damon on the other, and she'll motion to Katya and her group to follow.
Damien will follow without saying a word.
Damon,
And he's a bit confused.
Damon is confused, and he actually will let his arm go away, and he will walk out. He's following Matthias, actually.
As you're all walking, for any of the characters that look back and take another glance, you can see all of the guards slowly turn their heads and watch all of you leave, and then slowly turn back and face forward.
Damon did actually look back.
Yeah, it was really creepily how they did it. There was literally no movement, just the neck and head going from side and then back.
Yeah, Argent also would have looked back, making sure that Illy and Katya were not in there, well.
Oh yeah, Katya went
Safe.
with Arjun when, if he left, she would have too.
Yeah.
As everyone exits the room and goes into kind of one of the main rooms, you notice that as this is kind of there's a big, very large, brightly patterned compass pointing from north, south, east, west in this room. This particular room is a crossroad room to lead into all the other chambers. To the north, there's a stairwell, and then to the south is the museum exit. Of course, back behind you is the room you came in, and then, of course, to the east is a steel door for a closed-off area. In this area in particular, in this one room, you notice there are no cameras and no guards.
Okay. This is almost as creepy as the guards in the other room. So,
I think before we talk, we should get out of here.
yeah, let's at
The
least get...
museum as a whole.
Yeah.
You see a man, a rather nonchalant-looking man, in a nice, in a not really a bellhop uniform, but like a waiter or a servant kind of uniform, and he walks over, and he says, "Oh, are you all lost? Can I direct you or aid your services? Anyway."
Oh, no, we're headed out. We just finished the lovely exhibits.
Oh, yes, and thank you so much for coming to the museum. I'm glad you got to check out the new exhibits. We're really proud of it.
Thanks. See you later.
Oh, of course.
It was delightful.
Yes, it is always delightful to have people like you here.
going to Peony that people like you.
He kind of just walks past you guys, and he goes over to a corner, kind of where like this suit of armor is, and it looks like he's kind of inspecting it and polishing it. And
I got one success on PMing that you people like you.
yeah, something's a little sly with this guy. As he's over at the suit of armor, as you guys are leaving the museum, is anyone looking at him?
Yeah, Arjun having
Amelia will
picked up on that will look at him.
Damon does as well.
He starts saying a little rhyme to himself. For those of you who can hear him. He says, "The blood of Cain, the creators, and the weavers, and even some of the soldiers. Everyone's coming in here now."
As soon as she hears Weaver, she's like, "Nope, I'm out. You can stay if you want. I'm done."
Damien will actually follow her because he knows what that word means.
And Arjun, as you leave, the moment you turn and you look away from him, I need you to roll a willpower diff 8.
Okay.
Should I do the same? Because I also said that I would look.
This is not directed at your character, so no, you're okay.
Thank you.
And even though my character looked back, she was immediately like, "Nope, I'm gone."
Didn't look back, just saw the other ones going
Is
and
it possible
followed.
to use a willpower on a willpower roll?
Nope.
No, I
mean, depends on the STs. Most of the time it's no, but
typically I do not allow willpower expenditure on a willpower roll due to things like iron will and etc.
Yeah, no, he's got 3 successes.
3 successes. That's
At
pretty
me.
good. Let me see what this guy gets.
Oh, so is it emotional?
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
it's language, so he's making a statement towards you.
Because if it's anything like trying to pull him emotionally, it's +2 diff.
Okay. Yeah, you feel something start to whisper in your mind, and it says, "Cain is," and then it just stops because you push it out.
Wait. He'll stop. I mean, can he hear the rest of it if he wants to, or is it like his brain? Like,
If you threw it out and resisted, it would stop talking.
Because he kind of wants to hear the end of the sentence.
And do you look back?
So he'd have to look back if he wants to hear. Is that what he's saying?
The man is no longer there.
Okay. He'll... Yeah, just stand back. And turns to Elinkacha and just goes, "Let's go. Now. Please."
You see another woman at the front door just as you guys are all leaving, and she's in kind of a secretary-looking thing and kind of, just seems to be taking who's entering and who's going, one of the classical enter things. And she's like, "Oh, enjoy." And then, for those of you who are listening, she has a little earpiece in and she puts it in and she says, "Yes? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, the Tibetan exhibit? Yeah, I'll be there right away."
Make a mental note, but not gonna turn around.
So is everyone just kind of splitting up and going off, or does everyone kind of just stop out in front of the museum? Because at this moment, every single character is outside the museum, outside the front door.
Amelia, though, as soon as they are outside in the museum in the parking lot, she's going to turn to Jason's character, let go of his elbow, and go, "You don't ever mention who, where, or what you are in a closed public building, okay? Do you want to die?"
Damien has a very confused expression on his face.
There are bad people in this world who hurt people like you.
What, there is no ceasefire?
Dahlia is going to move over to Damien, grab his arm, and kind of pull him in close. You do realize what those were, don't you?
Hit marks?
Yes, those were technocratic hit marks.
Hitmark
For what
X's.
they didn't kill you on the spot.
The demon is looking at Matthias. Like, I don't follow it type of look.
Matthias looks back at you, and he says, to make a long story short, lots of Bane.
I don't follow a Bane as well.
Our curse, my friend.
Ugh. I need to shower. I hate that place. It was my one place to relax, and they've ruined it.
Well, you're old enough to drink, aren't you?
I work day shift at a health clinic, night shift at a biker's bar. Do you think I want to go to mini bars?
Well, you can always hang out at the White Wolf.
Yeah, Lexi is there. I haven't seen him in a while.
At this point, it would have been about 3 months since he left Sept and didn't come back.
Matthias kind of looks over at Daemon again, and he says, once again, to make a long story short, bad. Bad for you and me, especially. And for them, even worse.
He nods.
Finally, the realization washes over Damien, and he goes, "We are at war with the in a quiet voice. We are at war with the Technocratic Union."
Yes.
I don't understand that terminology, but I do understand there are bad things and monsters in this world who will eat you. Or drink you, whichever word you want to use for it.
Katya looks over. Monsters, are we?
God,
Yeah,
really
being impolite.
Well, I think Matthias kind of pipes up and he's like, well, let's all be honest here. We're all monsters here. At least according to the general public.
just roll their eyes. I'm going to the White Wolf. I need Uncle Alexei. Do what you want.
What did OOC Katya said? I didn't follow.
Monsters are we? And the look she is giving Katya, she walks away. And she
No. What did Katya say? Like she said, we are the monsters or something like that? I didn't-
Monsters, are we?
Yeah, that's what she said.
As in, you said what, bitch?
Okay.
Pretty much, as in, what did you just call me, you little worm? Because this is humanity free, Katya.
Yeah, the look. Oh, she wishes she could kill with a look right now while looking at Katya.
Yeah, Arjun, when he looks at Kasha that way, Arjun looks at her that way. Like, mm-mm.
I kind of want to play out this flaw more, but I think this is about to result in this character dying too soon if I do this.
Yeah, if you keep it up, Katya will fucking
Oh
end
dear
you.
God! Please don't start a combat. I literally have like 8 or 9 NPCs that are all just gonna jump in if a combat happens outside the museum.
Yeah, no, Amelia is going to leave the scene. She's going to go to White Wolf and she's going to bitch to Alexei because, you know, intolerance of vampires.
Whereas he's extremely tolerant.
Arjun will turn back to Kasha and like, should we go home?
Yes.
Matthias looks at Katya. He gives a little nod. He gives a little half bow. And then he just goes back to
Do I
holding...
know you?
No, I'm just a bit of an ally of a few of your associates. That's all.
All right.
He goes back to Dahlia and he helps Dahlia kind of move along depending upon where she goes.
Dahlia will gladly take his arm after, having a minor freak out at Damien.
Yep. Is Dahlia currently at max quintessence?
Yes, she is. She has not spent any today.
Okie dokie. Does she have a node, by the way?
No, she does not have a node. She just has her sanctum.
Okay. Is she heading back home? Is she? Let me go ahead and get where everyone is going right now. Amelia is going to White Wolf.
Katya is headed home with
Okay.
Arjun and Ely. Dahlia will probably ask Matthias if he wants to go anywhere. If not, she'll suggest they head back to her place.
He will suggest that they head back to her place for now, and he is going to make a little text on his phone, and Amelia is going to be followed. Damien, where are you going at this point?
At that point, he'd probably be he'd probably try to make his way back to Clear's place since they've basically taken him in.
Yep, and of course your shadow is following you, but he's your escort, so.
Who's the shadow again?
Alex. The Verbena Alex, not the bad guy.
Okay. You just gave me.
No, the milk, Mr. Milk.
Yes, Mr. Milk.
Mr.
Yeah.
Mr. Milk, Giant's Bane.
Yes. Yeah.
Or are they both the same Alex? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Who knows? He'll be going with Mr. Not Torment Giantsbane, and it's very simple to express. The expression on his face is like he's realized what he actually did there, and he realized nobody had told him the info beforehand. And let's just say in Dublin, they were not quite as secretive as they probably should have been. So he picked up some bad habits.
Indeed. And that will definitely affect some things in the future here.
Yeah, definitely. So his head is basically spinning. He's being quiet and just getting back to safety.
All right, Arjun, Ellie, and Katya left. Where is Mr. Damon going?
To a bar to drink.
So you would probably go to the White Wolf as well?
He doesn't know the White Wolf, and the Amelia said that she will go to White Wolf, so he will not go to White Wolf.
Okay.
It's just another normal bar where he will drink.
Avoiding her.
Just a quick thing. As they're leaving, the three of them, Ely will just probably nothing has been said for a little while, and she'll just look up at Katya and she'll be like, "So all of those people were different."
They were all different. Mages, changelings. I don't know what the other one was.
I don't know. Isn't there a way we can give them like an armband or like not like that, but like like a wristband?
You're cute, darling.
Like a red one is ours, then a blue, and then a purple one, and then a yellow one for something.
I don't think they'll accept.
What about hats or something?
I don't think they'd accept something that would knock them off.
But it's really confusing. I didn't know. Like, I wouldn't call that one person a bitch if I had known.
She didn't appear to be anything in particular.
Well, sure, but I don't know. It was just I could have said something like that to the others or worse.
Be careful how you speak
Did you-
to people.
Catch, did you see like some of them like a rainbow or something?
Yes, those are Fae.
Dahlia, what are you doing here?
You know what? That was Katya. Fuck off. I didn't change my overlay, but it was. Deal with it.
Hmm. Okay, so there was at least one mage there, and okay, that's really strange, but that's okay. So, what about like a secret handshake?
I think they want to stay hidden.
I know, but I just like if I'm talking to one of them and I just want like, can we just like a special like wave or something so I can know like.
I
not
don't think they
dark.
want you to know, Ellie.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
I
don't.
want to avoid to just piss them off because, you know.
I'll smile.
Like, you're not really helping. She looks at both of them. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. She just sits down and pouts a little.
It's difficult dealing with other supernaturals, I know. It'll get easier, though.
I kind of hope so, but all right.
And we'll go ahead and cut to the scene in when you guys are done role playing. We'll cut to the scene in White Wolf. Once again, sorry, I was muted there. We'll go ahead and continue. Go ahead and the vampires can continue doing a little bit of role play here, and then we'll cut to White Wolf, and then I'll end the session unless anyone else has anything to do. So we'll go to White Wolf. We'll do something after the vampires, and then I'll be right back because I need to go downstairs real quick.
Yeah, I am gonna have to go to bed now because it is late.
Yeah, you go sleep.
I will see you guys later.
So, yeah. Yeah, Arjun will just get home and make sure that, Ellie and Catch are safe.
So I take it that means the vampires are done with their role play since Arjun went home.
Yeah.
Then I will say Amelia marches into the White Wolf, goes straight to the bar, hands Alexi $100 bill, and goes, "The strongest you have. I want for 5 minutes not to remember today at all."
Are you even old enough to drink?
Yes. She will hand him her ID.
You know your father will kill me if I let you drink, right?
Alexi, please. I just dealt with fairies, vampires, and mages.
Sounds like my Tuesday.
You know, only 2 out of 3 of those I can tolerate. You should be very.
I know.
I was good. I didn't get the tire iron out.
Yep, that would have been badly for you, my dear.
Yes, one of them was named Katya. She was a little uppity.
Haven't met that one yet.
There was also a child. I don't know what she was. Don't care. I need something hard.
Fine. He'll go back and get her a drink.
She'll like take it, and as she goes to drink, she goes, "I don't want to remember most of today, and I want to wake up and not be at home when I wake up." That's how drunk I want to be right now.
Yep, your dad's gonna kill me. I am prepared for this.
Don't worry, I love you and your child too much to tell him it was you I got it from, and she will proceed to chug.
Want to make me a stamina check?
Yeah, I figured. This is gonna hurt. But she
Mhm.
herself. Just straight stamina?
Yep, that's all you get on
This is
alcohol.
this is really gonna hurt.
It's probably higher difficulty if you're chugging it too.
No.
No. Oh, boy.
oh,
Okay. I'm going to, rule that you don't pass out. You're just really fucking drunk.
May I say at that point Damon enters, I've changed my mind.
God damn it.
Sure.
Damon does enter to this bar, and he looks around.
He'd enter as now drunken Amelia go, I just love you so much, Alexi. Why'd you have to leave? You left me alone with a bunch of assholes.
You know why I
People-
had to leave, kiddo.
He will actually go towards the bar.
I'm gonna need another one as soon as she sees him.
He does ignore her comments, and then looks at Alexi. He nods. May I have a scotch, please?
Of course. And he
Thank you.
pours him a glass of scotch.
He doesn't say anything. He just drinks, has his good time, tries to be friendly as best as possible.
Oh, she's much friendlier now that she's got alcohol in her system. You're so uppity looking, but you're actually very pretty. You're like shiny pretty.
I beg your pardon?
Doesn't he seem to sparkle like gold, Alexi?
No, he doesn't. You're fucking drunk.
Alexi, I can already see where this is going.
Yeah, her dad's gonna fucking kick my ass. That's where it's going.
Child of Gaia, Uktena, what we,
Tenna.
oh,
She'll look back at David Gold and she'll be like, oh, fuck Dad. What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
You don't know your father well enough.
He's a serious, loving man who likes his drink. And now I see why. And she'll pick the empty cup up and try to drink more.
Oh boy.
You're cut off, kid.
No, I needed this. What else was I going to do to fix the night? I work, I go home, I occasionally come here. What else am I supposed to do with my life, Alexi? I'm not big and strong like you two.
David just kind of shrugs.
I know how to run my mouth and swing a piece of metal. That's it. And stitch people closed. Speaking of which,
And somehow this is my problem.
no. She says it just puts her head against the counter.
I think you need to go home.
I think you need to call me a taxi because the room is spinning and there are 3 of Mr. over there, pointing to David.
I know.
No, fuck.
I know someone I could call to escort her.
I mean, unless you know one of the people, like my brother or one of his friends that can come get me.
Probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to escort her back, Alexi. They might take it the wrong way.
You know they're gonna take it the wrong way. I'm calling your brother.
Right.
Why would they take it the wrong way? You're just a nice old guy.
I'm a nice old guy who's abandoned Wendigo, that's why.
Oh, yeah. You fucked up, didn't you?
He looks at her and he says, to save hundreds? Yeah, I fucked up.
I'd take a fuck up to save hundreds any day.
Amen to that, kid.
So I saw Lucas yesterday. Well, I met him, and I saw him with Jack. They wouldn't tell me what they're working on case-wise, though.
I mean,
They'll
I'm
send
not
their
shocked.
They'll send me their leftovers, screaming, crying, drunks, stab wounds, gunshots. Sure. Want to hear a little bit about why that happened? No, they call me a child and send me away. Can I have a beer?
No, you're cut off.
What was in this cup?
Oh, Lexi, I think that's why I don't know
Vodka.
I don't know if you labeled those correct. That's the 80 proof stuff.
I mean, she wanted to forget.
I guess that's one way to do it.
Maybe I'll think of tanned beauties running through the forest. Or dream. Is my brother coming?
Yes, your brother is coming.
You didn't tell him why, did you?
Oh no, I want him to figure that out when he gets here.
Fuck. I'm gonna get a strong, stern talking to, aren't I?
Not like he hasn't done this before.
I have never recently, in this year, had my brother pick me up.
There's a first time for everything.
In this year. She'll look over at Hightower and she goes, so, I'm glad you're safe, though, honestly. Let's not go into the museum after dark again.
If you say so.
Oh, and Alexi, there's another reason besides really good liquor I came here for. I need you to get into my purse and look through my photos on my phone. There's a tattoo logo thing. I don't know exactly what it is.
Logo thing?
The scary, creepy doll-like people were wearing it. I just want to know if you knew it. It's like an X in a box. Oh, see, I have never really played drunk characters before. Or drunk, so...
They definitely would be responsible for some problems that's been going on with the local reservation.
Yeah. But with Alexi being a Theurge, she thought maybe he might know the symbol. That's why she's showing it to him.
That is up to Alexi. If Alexi does know what this appears to be, at least from what it sounds like, a branch or whatnot of Generation X. Granted, they often do not come to blows. They do not come to blows with Garu, so they would be a lot less well known.
Looks familiar. I'd have to have some of my mage friends take a look at it, though.
This city seems to have a lot of people connected with each other. A lot of different supernaturals.
When it was first developed, it was one of the largest port cities of the United States. Of course, there's going to be a lot here. Here, San Francisco, and New York and Chicago.
He nods.
Hell, most of them meet in my bar.
It's one of the only places we can go, Alexi, and we can actually be somewhat free and not worry about being judged.
My name is Damon Hightower. I'm new around here. It's been 2 months.
David Gold.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
He wants to play dad in poker.
No,
David.
I said I want to play poker. I did not say I wanted to play with your dad. You said that I may play with your dad.
If you go to the Black Coyote and you got the dealer, his name is Taryn.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you do, don't play poker with him. He cheats. He cheats. He just cheats. I'm telling you.
How dare you
Thank you, sir.
besmirch my father's honor of the casino?
It is not your father's honor I insult, it is Taryn's, and you cannot insult a man of Taryn because he has no honor.
Taryn is more of a man than 10 of you.
From under his breath, Damien says, "Honor is a lie."
David looks.
Yeah, really.
David just looks at Amelia like he's going with this argument, and then he looks over at Hightower and he's like, "What?"
I just mumbled something to myself. My apologies. Please do continue.
Kind of looks at you. He starts going back and arguing with Amelia, and he's like, "Your honor is poo."
She looks over at David. My honor's bigger than yours, at least, old man.
David just kind of goes, "Okay, all right."
He is just rubbing his temples like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Miss Two Rivers, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Here it comes. You ready?
David.
He goes to punch, and then he's like,
Good sir. She is just drunk.
So is he.
I would talk the same sober to David than drunk.
Exactly. When I'm sober, you come on down to the gym, and I'll show you how to fight.
All right, but I'm bringing the chains, old fart.
Bring it. The weapons will give you a slight edge. I could use the challenge.
Bar.
I could use the challenge. Nonsense.
Shitheads.
Nonsense. We're gonna fight in the gym, not in here. I would never
break your bar. I
would-
love your bar.
I would never break your bar, Alexi. There's no honor in that. Oh wait, honor doesn't exist. Damn it.
The Damon raises his rings to that.
So, Uncle Alexi, did I tell you about the really nice guy that comes into the bar I work at night?
No.
He wears like 3 or 4 coats, and he always gives me the best tips. Always. The other guy's just like,
You mean Malachi?
I don't know his name.
He's a bonar.
Well, he's nice. He doesn't slap my ass like some of the guys when I ask for them to pay the tip. Or they'll give me a tip of wear no sleeves. No, he puts the money in the jar, places his order, and is a decent customer. It's
What's
great.
Bornar?
Oh, god damn it, I forgot you're here.
I'm a previous person. My apologies if it's a problem.
I'll leave this to my betters. I'm just breeding stock. And she'll go for the empty cup again.
Alexi
raises
narrowed
his,
his eyes at her.
Yeah, like he raises his eyes like when she says like breeding stock, because it's kind of like a fucked up thing to say.
It's not actually what she thinks, but due to lore and past stuff, it's a little voice in the back of her subconscious where, oh, nobody really actually cares. You're just there.
Like he takes a sip from his drink. He is like thinking, but like his like her right eyebrow kind of raised when she says breeding stock.
You know that's not how any of us feel about you.
I know. Sometimes I think it, though. It's stupid. Especially when
Admittedly, there are certain
Wendigo is all she says.
concepts that feel
Hey.
that way.
Hey, I resent that.
She points right at David. You have an asshole among the cubs right now.
Oh, him. He finishes chewing his jerky, he swallows, and he says, "No, you're right. He's an asshole."
No, I'm certainly not referring to any cub.
There's a couple older guys. I tend to just avoid them. Yeah. I
Good
don't.
luck avoiding. And Alexi's going to take a rage for that. She's still thinking about someone he really doesn't like.
She's like drunkenly trying to pat at his hands, like, there. Well, I was also going to ask to hold the baby, but I don't think in this state that's a good idea.
No, I don't want to drop in my kid.
So I will wait till the room's not spinning.
Yeah, wait till you're sober.
Oh, I'm not drunk. Just like wave a hand at him and then kind of lean over.
You are drunker than my mother's skunk.
Was the skunk your father?
He says, "Oh."
Certainly smells like it.
David just looks at Alexi and he's like, "Oh, double teamed. 2 versus 1, huh? I can take both of you on."
You take him from behind, Alexi. I'll get him in the front.
Gold just kind of looks. He's like,
I do not swing that way, my dear.
She'll look at him confused.
I think she meant fight. Although sometimes it's difficult to get tactical maneuvers mixed up for sexual orientations. You know, there was this one time in Moscow, Russia. Wait, no, never mind.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yes, you know what? Fine. I'll be nice, Nelson. Maeve was coming out to see Alexi anyway, so
Aiden kind of wants to see Alexi too, because he likes him a lot more and thinks the other guy should have that, but he wasn't there, couldn't say anything.
as soon as they walk in, though, Amelia's gonna be like, Maeve, Aiden, I love you guys.
oh god.
David immediately, when he sees the other two come in, he slowly starts to back off and he goes and sits in the corner.
Was David here before, like 2 years ago?
David's been here for some time. He owns Gold's Gym. He's actually he's been in Orlando. He has been in Orlando for 10 years.
Okay, and how long ago was he set? Did he go
He was part
solo,
of a northern tribe up near Vancouver, and was basically pushed out and is now a lone wolf. And he's been a lone wolf for 10 years.
Okay.
Damon raises drinks to the newcomers.
Maeve, this is Mr. Hightower. He's all right. I don't think he's normal, though.
What?
Well, I don't think anyone in this fucking city's normal.
I am. I'm a nice, normal lady. And
Shut up.
You're not always that nice.
Oh,
I'll smile.
I will.
Aiden seems to be a bit better today, but he looks at you and goes, "To be fair, you're not always that nice."
To be fair, I'm not always that nice. I'll agree with you there. Shut.
Hey, Alexi.
Hey, kiddo. How you doing?
Could be going a lot better.
What's wrong?
Your mom
Travis.
told me about the accident.
He'll nod. And for now, he'll just look to the new person that asked the question because something's personal.
Gotcha. Sorry. Hopefully it'll be all right.
Hopefully. And he'll smile at David. You know I don't judge you for whatever happened, right?
He kind of sits back and he says, "No, but I like to just keep out of the way of fellows."
He likes to watch.
And I don't know you, so I can't really judge you. This one smells like Fiona.
He smells and he says, "Well, just let's just say there are still those who look at me with disgust.
Yeah, well,
Despite the fact that I saved 200 of our kind."
yeah, well, screw them.
Yeah. I've been spending my days here. By the way, if you ever want to learn a thing or two about combat, come see me at the gym.
I probably have to now since, big event happened.
I'll be your first match. She's just pointing right at Aiden.
By the way, she also looks very, very pregnant.
David looks down at the belly, looks back up at her, and says, "Well, now you're even more scary. I feel like you're probably... If my fellow kin stayed away from you because they think you've got spunk, now they'll really stay away from you." Because there's one thing you never...
They're more scared of me now than they were before.
Indeed, because there's one thing I learned when I was very young over in Moscow. You would never get between a pregnant Fiona. Ever.
Oh, especially her.
Fiona. That's
Fiona.
a nice term.
He is drunk.
Hey, he says Fiona. That's a nice term.
Yeah, him and Amelia are both drunk and play bickering and talking about how they'll do it outside the bar so they don't damage the bar that Amelia loves.
Oh, especially her. She kind of scares me. And he'll smile at Maeve.
She just pats his shoulder.
Aiden, tonight was horrible. I need a hug. And like hold her hands out.
He'll hug her. Yeah, my last few days have been horrible.
Dear God.
I think your sister needs a ride. I think your sister needs a ride.
Hi, Scott.
Okay. He walks over, grabs her, and slings her over his shoulder. Let's go.
With face against her back. I love you too, Scott. I don't want to deal with any more bloodsuckers, though.
Come on.
Bye, Mr. Hightower.
Bye-bye.
See you later, David.
I'll see you at the gym, Amelia.
Bye-bye, Amelia. Hope you feel better tomorrow.
Whatever's left on that 100 I gave you, give it to Aiden and drinks.
Is Aiden old enough to drink?
Emotionally right now, please, yes.
But is he old enough legally to drink?
Your stunning silence is very reassuring, Nelson.
Wait,
I don't recall.
No. Hello, can people hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. Yeah, because he'll say emotionally, please, yes, let me drink. Like when he asked if he was old enough.
Are you legally old enough to drink? Because I'm not losing my liquor license for you.
How grown?
Then no. He just kind of pats him on the shoulder.
Sorry, kid, not today.
If we were upstairs, maybe.
And you're not. Then I'll wait, and whenever everybody else fucked off, I'll go upstairs with you.
He nods.
Wait, no. Maeve has to stay. Because, that happened.
Yeah. You're my responsibility now, which means you're not going anywhere.
He'll look to both David and Alexei. I'm serious when I say she scares me sometimes.
She scares all of us, kid.
That pretty sure she could scare our king.
What makes you think she hasn't?
Anyway. She's going home. You, Mr. Gold.
I just offered her if she wanted to learn how to fight a bit. A lot of crazy stuff has been happening. Those killings happened last week. I feel like some of the cubs and some of the younger ones should know how to fight. I'm just offering to
Sure.
teach. I've had a lot of experience, Maeve.
Sure, ask a drunk girl if she wants to learn how to fight. What could possibly go wrong?
To be fair, I asked her before she was drunk.
She was drunk when you got here, you shithead.
David just kind of goes, nah. He just looks at Lexi like, yeah, she.
I we should probably end the scene here because it's getting kind of ridiculous.
Oh yeah, this.
Yeah. True.
So David just says, "All right, well, like I said, I just offered to teach some of the younger ones how to fight. If there are any that wish to learn, you can send them my way. I know you got some skilled warriors up there, but I know my stuff, and I've got a lot of experience." He takes one last swig and he gives a real nice tip to Alexei, and then he nods at everyone else. He says, "Y'all have a good night now."
Damon gets up,
Say,
nods to everyone, and then he leaves.
And with
and
that,
Aiden will actually look to David and go, I'll probably show up. There's another cab I really wish I could be down with that right now. He's probably better fighter than me.
sure, stop by any time. I'll teach you some moves. And he
I mean,
walks.
can't leave that.
Well, there would need to be some sort of arrangement made then if I was to come on the set, because I'm not really welcome in most places anymore. But if you ever can leave Sept, come by the gym. He nods,
And he'll nod.
gives a little shake, and then leaves. And with that, we'll end the session. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. It has been a very interactive and interesting night here in Orlando. Good night.